Hello, I'm Stuart Eglin, Director of NHS R&D North West. You're about to watch one of a series of films which we've put together to give you some indication of the kind of health research that goes on across the northwest of England. It's an opportunity to hear from some of the key leaders that lead the different health research organisations, units and centres and the like within the region. And what we've aimed at is to find out a little bit more about what goes on in those organisations and some of the stories and narratives that drive them. I hope you enjoy them and I look forward to your feedback. Thank you. I've been leading this work for approximately 9 years now. We started our life as part of the Strategic Health Authority, working across the region, and more recently we've been working as a devolved function covering the whole region and working to ensure that the region is seen as a strong place to do research and a place where people would come to get excellent research done. At any time we have approximately half a dozen programmes which we're delivering, and those programmes are led by my two assistant directors, Gillian Southgate and Lynn Goodacre, who each lead on specific areas and take forward those programmes, build and develop them. And our work is constantly changing and flexing to address the needs of the region. Our work has three focuses. The first focus around capacity building, to build and enable people to pursue careers in research. A second area around collaboration, supporting researchers working in universities and in NHS organisations across the region and helping them to collaborate and work together, meet people perhaps they wouldn't otherwise meet. And thirdly, to support communication and help people to share their research findings in perhaps novel and unusual ways that are more compelling.
There's a real distinction, I think, between being a researcher in a university where you're part of a strong research group and you're in an environment that's a research environment. Nearly all of the people that we work with are working in a clinical setting, and often they might be the only researcher in their team. They may not have another connection. So one of the things that we're really keen to do is work across the 40, we've got over 40 NHS trusts in our region, and is to make connections between some of those individuals so that they feel part of a research community. And I think that's one of the really big differences about researching in a setting like the NHS as opposed to researching in a university. It's much harder to be part of a community. So some of what we're doing isn't so much about developing academic research skills, because that's what a university does. Quite a lot of the work we're doing is focused on how do you do your research in the NHS.
I think one of the key things that has changed in the research landscape over history is a shift from the idea of individual researchers working sort of either in a lab coat buried away in a laboratory or locked away in an office having bright ideas. The world isn't like that anymore now, and most research is done through teams of people working together, bringing different skills, and it's the range of different skills coming together. Now all those skills may not be in one place, they may be in a number of different institutions. And one of the things I think are very good at is working to bring those people together, create those connections that might not otherwise happen. Ironically, sometimes that's within the same institution, but usually it's across different institutions. So one of the programmes that we deliver is a programme called the Catalyst programme, which Gillian leads.
The sort of philosophy behind the Catalyst process, I think, is something like chaos theory. I think basically that nothing is random, isn't it? If you put loads of stuff together, then you will get some good ideas out of that. So it's based on open space, and over the last 8 years, there's been about 10 or 12 events, all very topic specific. And the idea is to put people together who wouldn't normally meet. So you've got researchers, you've got people who are from academia, you've got people from the NHS, you've got patients, you've got the public, you've got clinicians, who all get the opportunity to come together in one room and to debate that topic. As you probably can see behind me on the wall, we did one on dementia, which is a very current topic. looking at gaps in dementia research. And from that one event, I think we had 26 debates about how we could look at research with regards to dementia. When people are passionate about a subject, sometimes they're not in a team, or sometimes they're the only person within their working environment that has that passion. So when they come to events like this, it's an opportunity to connect with like-minded people who have the same passion, and that's when you get really good stuff starting to evolve. You get new ideas, you get projects, and hopefully they're rooted in what would be good for patient care. Because that, at the end of the day, is what it's all about. You can't do research for research's sake these days, or you struggle to get funding. And in healthcare and the NHS, it's got to be about improving patient care. A lot of some of what we do as well is trying to gently push people into the digital world, because particularly in the NHS, where they've still got paper records, doing anything other than writing notes and is still quite a challenge. And I think opening up the doors so that people can see that actually it's not that difficult, it's not that hard, is another part of the role that we have, and saying, it's all about, yes, you can do it, not no, it's too difficult. It's all about problem solving and finding a way around it, rather than saying, no, it's impossible to do.
So we're just about to start a short series of developing skills in using social media for research, and that's got a number of different facets to it. So that's using things like Twitter and Twitter chats, and how you bring all your tweets together and curate them in Storyify to create the story of what you're doing. We're also doing some work around using Google Hangouts and how people can come together in a Google Hangout. So we'll be working with a group of researchers to help develop skills in using social media. But then at the end of it, our final workshop is about how social media is actually used as part of the research process. So maybe historically, as a researcher, you'd get a group of people together in a room and do a focus group. Well, actually now quite a lot of that sort of approach maybe being using social media. So rather than bringing people together in a room, you connect via social media, or the way you tell patients about potential research projects. It may be that you use Facebook, or it may be that you use those kinds of approaches. So that's the whole use of social media is an area that we're really going to be focusing on quite a lot over the next year.
And hence this podcast series, that we thought it would be a really helpful way to communicate a set of messages, connecting people, looking across the various research leaders, some key bits of research and research teams that work within this region, and bring them together and focus them into a series of short films that make it accessible and easy for anybody out there to find out more about what's going on in this region, what the sort of range of health research and approaches are, and a real opportunity to learn more and find out how to find out more as well about the kind of things that are going on with public money to make real difference to health and healthcare.